Hello students, this is your course on content marketing. In this video on beginning with website content, we are going to talk about submissions and link building and what do they mean for content marketers. So let's begin by understanding what is link building and why as a content marketer you should know about it and to what extent it will be your role to develop links internal or inbound for the website that you're working on. Now, it's the practice of building numerous high quality inbound links, which can also be called backlinks, to drive organic traffic from external sources to your website. Link building improves search engine visibility, resulting in high SERP rankings. Links can be built through website submissions to web directories, content submission to forums specific to your industry, content marketing on social media, and participation in communities and forums relevant to your website. Now, while internal links are a great way to improve your organic search presence and your website optimization depends on them, the inbound links are the ones that can actually bring you high quality traffic, relevant traffic, and can therefore help you achieve your underlying content marketing KPIs like lead generation, subscription improvement, traffic increase, as well as conversions. Therefore, as you can see, link building is something that can be done through content submission to forums, which is specific to your industry, where comes the role of the content marketing function. Then content marketing on social media itself is a great way of building links to your website. Once again, that's where the content marketing function comes in. And then participation in communities and forums which are relevant to your website, and participation not just for liking and sharing or upvoting whatever is being published on those forums, but also contributing quality content to such forums, thus once again establishing your brand as a thought leader and encouraging the community members to visit your website to know more about your brand. So essentially, this is something that can only be achieved if the content marketing function team is in sync with the rest of the digital team, and the link building exercise is done regularly and is done consciously to improve the SERP rankings of the website. Now, it begins by submission of site to search engines. A lot of this is dependent on the technical guy in your digital team, because the sitemap that has to be submitted to the search engines for increasing the SERP visibility, increasing the organic search chances and indexing of the website is an XML file. And therefore, usually it's not the content marketer's duty to do that. So this is the first step of building links, and the XML file is generated by the technical lead or the developer designer who's responsible for managing the website. You can also check if your site is already indexed by search engines by simply going on Google Search Console and inputting your domain and checking whether it exists or not. Now, if your URL is not on Google, that means your website has not been indexed, and this kind of a pop-up will emerge on Google Search Console. And as a content marketer, you can then inform your digital team that perhaps it is time to request indexing, or if the indexing has already been done, perhaps it is time for checking what updates have been made recently in your website, and then again requesting for indexing so that the URL gets updated in the Google's database, and naturally your website can enjoy better visibility. This could be a big reason of traffic decline for your website, and therefore if this is happening, if traffic is not really up to the mark, this should be the first place to check, and you should figure out as a content marketer that maybe the fault is not on the relevance of the content that you're putting on the website, but the fact that it is not indexed and it is not properly captured on the Google search. The same way, you can also submit your sitemap XML in other search engines like Bing and Yahoo. And what that can help you with is can increase your brand visibility on search engine result pages. But that's not the end of it. Just like you submit your sitemap to the search engines, which are broadly and widely used by your target customers, you also have to submit your website data to various directories. And very often, this is the duty of the digital marketing team, and content marketers are usually not really involved. What you may be contributing towards is the brief descriptions that will go with the site links and site maps on these directories to give a better information about your website and the content that you're offering on your website. Now, you also need to include internal links in your web content, because that is part of link building. And while the inbound links can improve your SERP ranking, the internal links can actually help the web crawlers index your website better. And of course, they can also help your end customers find relevant information and data on your web pages. Internal linking is the process of creating internal links for one page of the domain on another page of the same domain. Which means, let's say you have a home page. From home page, you can guide a customer to or the crawler to move to a sub page, which could be a category page like careers. It could be like a category page like services. It could be a category page like about us or contact us. And you can also insert links on these pages, which can then take back the customer to the home page also. Because that is where you can usually locate your site menu for searching the rest of the website. On the subcategory pages, you can then place links for more further embedded pages having more depth. And these pages could be detailed descriptions of elements that you have included in your subcategory pages. For instance, let's say from home page you are taking your customer to your product page, and you have 6 products in your portfolio. So on the product page, you can have maybe one-liner descriptions or logos of your products put on the product page. And by clicking on those logos on those line descriptions or on the name of the products, the customers can then be routed to the individual product pages with detailed description of the features and benefits and perhaps pricing information as well. It allows content marketers to facilitate natural movement of site visitors from one page to another by providing related information. And therefore, while developing website content as well as while developing blog content or knowledge resource content, you have to keep in mind that this is a best practice that you have to develop, and you have to find scope for insertion of internal links in whatever text, whatever content you're creating for every single new page. Sometimes you may also be required to review the website and go back to already existing pages and find scope and opportunity for inserting internal links, either by making minor edits in the present text or by inserting anchor text wherever it is relevant. Remember, the reason of building internal links is so that when a customer is looking at any kind of content on the website, and if related relevant content exists on the same website, as a content marketer, you should be encouraging the customer to explore that content. This could lead to increased session time. This could lead to increased value for your customer, and of course can contribute to better SERP performance for the website. So as a content marketer, you have to remember that internal links are important from the overall website performance point of view, and you have to remember to include these internal links while developing content for the website. So here's an example of internal link. So this is a travel website which has included their travel blog on the homepage itself in the form of snippets, and these are links which are formed like buttons which you can click on to land up on the related blog. And as soon as you click on the link, you land up on the blog page. The blog page is giving you whatever desired related information you thought you can achieve by just reading the headline on the homepage. Then at the bottom of the blog page, there is another link, like you can see there at the bottom, which is book your cab now, which is yet another internal link, and by clicking on which you will be routed to the cab booking page. So what the website has done very beautifully is they have created a pathway for their customer, wherein as soon as they land on their homepage, they find something of relevance on the blog, something of value, they will access that value, they will consume that content, and then naturally they can be moved from that content itself to a page where this potential user can be turned into a customer, because the objective of the website is not just to share information but to generate business for the company. So a lot of their internal links therefore are designed in such fashion that they will lead customers to platforms where actual sale transaction can happen. So this is how internal links can be placed by a content marketer in the text itself, in the content itself. What you can see here is that within the blog content, there was no blatant insertion of the internal link. It was placed separately at the bottom of the content, and therefore it's possible that the company is sourcing a lot of their blog content from external providers, and their digital team is then taking care of insertion of internal links at the back end. So it depends what is the route that the company takes, but as I was saying earlier, as a content marketer, you have to remember that you may be asked to review the rest of the content and come up with internal link insertion ideas in every new piece of content that you create for the website. So that's about link building, both external as well as internal. Now, next up, we'll talk about connecting website to social media accounts. Until then, thank you.